Welcome to Roll For Turaco.
Welcome to Roll for Turaco. This is Frank. Oh, let's re-roll that. Okay. Oh, I rolled a 6. Why do I roll dice at the beginning of majority of my videos? Well, the channel is called Roll for Turaco, and this channel is about role-playing games, dice, uh, things like that. And I like dice, and I like rolling the dice. This video is part 2 of making an archway portal. Part 1 is already on the channel and you can watch that if you haven't seen that yet. In part 1 I cut out the archways I'm going to use. I also cut out the square tiles, which they themselves have a square cut out in the middle, and that's where I will be adding this tea light. A battery operated tea light, and I'll probably get more of these. I'll see if I can find others in different colors. I do like this one. I suppose I can use different LEDs, but I'll worry about that later on. So in this video I will be continuing that, and I'll be putting everything together. And I also started a smaller archway, which I was thinking I could just use that one little archway that I cut out as a doorway, but I decided just to continue at making it as a little smaller archway portal, or portal archway, portal gate. I think you get the idea. I do have it here. So this is the smaller version of what my my main archway portal is going to look like. And you saw I did kind of bump into it and the bottom fell. So the bottom is actually held together with very cheap magnets. These are just very simple fridge magnets. I cut them into squares, and that's how I'll be adding the tea light on my table. I can just put it on this the bottom tile. There we go. Put that here. Now let's finish making this archway portal. I have my 3 archway pieces ready to go, and I also have the squares that I use as the base. I give them a sanding down. I have a piece of sandpaper that I keep at the table. I have extra. I have more, but I keep a piece because I knew I was going to be working on this project again. And after adding some Mod Podge to the archway, making it one big piece, I set that aside and I start working on the base and adding that square on the bottom where I'm going to have the candle, the tea light, sit. These scraps, which I've been calling foam board, but it's not foam board. I'm not sure what it is. I just know it's thicker and sturdier. A little harder to cut, but it's manageable. Anyways, so they have a layer of paper, so I take as much off as I can on each square, and then I just layer it on top of them so I can see where it's going to go, if it's going to fit, if there's any adjustments I need to make. And I do mark where I'm going to add the magnets, and later I actually added more magnets. And now it's just gluing it all together with the Mod Podge, making sure each layer has some Mod Podge on it. And now I just need to adjust it, and I make some cuttings, making corners, rounding it out a little bit more, and adding more Mod Podge. So I do use a lot of Mod Podge. Thank goodness I bought a new bottle just for this project. I was toying with the idea of making some jagged edges on the front of the these stones, but I did want to keep it as stairs. So this larger archway does have some stone stairs. The smaller one doesn't, but I still make some adjustments on that one as well, rounding out the edges on that base, but you'll see that later. I'm letting the base dry while I add paint to the bottom square where the tea light candle is going to sit on this archway. This is the messier portion of the project, of this craft that I'm doing. I'm just doing a lot of painting, adding a lot of gray paint and mixing in a little bit of black, making it darker gray, and just making sure I have the entire base covered. I do leave a little bit of gaps, a little bit of just white showing. I was thinking of just leaving it like that, but no, I want it to look good. Now that the archway itself is dry, that's when I start adding the paint from that one, and that's where you can see where I'm mixing some black, some light gray, a little bit of a mid gray that I have, and just making it look like a weathered stone. I give it another pass of paint, another layer, making sure it's all covered and it looks good. And I set that aside for a little bit while that is drying. I start working on the smaller archway, and this is where I start rounding out some of the edges. This one does not have a staircase. I could probably make something later on, but I think this actually looks pretty cool. As is. I like to keep it a little bit open-ended where it can be in any scenario, but maybe it does need a staircase. I can make a makeshift staircase. I have enough scraps where I can make something, or maybe I can just have the materials, pieces of wood or long stones that can be moved around by the players, and they can make a makeshift ramp or staircase. Painting every little crevice, that was a bit of a pain. Even when I take a brush inside, I try to get as much as I can, but I think a little bit of the white showing does give it a little bit of that weathered texture that I was going for. But I don't want to be lazy and just leave it as is. I do try to get as much as I can. You can see with the smaller archway, I take a finer brush and I go inside and try to get as much of those little crevices covered as I can. I do the same with the larger archways, just making sure I have as much of those little cracks covered, and I do go over it, adding more paint, just making it look more weathered and aged, just the way that I want it. I do start adding Mod Podge, I start adding the magnets, and I add my little Turaco symbols on the bottom. And I do later on go and add more magnets to one of the squares. I cut out pieces of foam board, and this is foam board from the Dollar Tree. It's the black foam board. I took off the black paper, and the actual board itself is gray, so that's perfect for adding these cornerstones that I added on the top of both arches. I'm constantly making sure that the tea light fits in both archways. I do add more Mod Podge on the archways themselves, just covering everything. I'm constantly adding touch-ups, making sure I have enough Mod Podge on the edges, on the corners, everywhere on the archway around the pillars. And I think that's it for all these little touch-ups. And now I want to show these miniatures that I got. So these are the magical kitten miniatures that I did order from Temu. I ordered 5 of them. Actually, it's a set of 5. And I use them for scale, and I just wanted to show them off because they look cute, they look adorable, and I thought they would look nice next to the archways, the larger magical portal archway and the smaller one. And I do have my Captain Goggles miniature, and this one I designed on Hero Forge. I bought the file and I had it 3D printed it out at the library, and I painted it myself, and I'm using that for scale as well. So you can see the finished archway here, how it looks good with the miniatures. I also have my paper miniatures. I do have a paper version of Captain Goggles, and oh, he fell. And I also have Mask Woman right there. In the same way I showed the other miniatures, I'm using these paper miniatures for reference and scale, and you can get these on DriveThruRPG. Link in the description below. The archways are done drying. I let them dry for a while, and I think they look really good, but I'm biased. And the smaller archway and the larger archway, or a portal gate. Oops. These are my portal gate doorways. And you know, since they do have a hole in the middle, when I'm not using them as a portal gate, it could be a trap. There's the finished archway portal gate, archway portal, whatever you want to call it. And oh, yeah, still a little wet. So what I'll probably do off camera is I'll add some hot glue on the bottom of these pillars, and that should do it. So I'm just gonna leave this here, and I'll take care of that after this video. And here's the tea light. Now we'll be getting more of these. And you know, maybe I can find some LED lights that are small, and I can just pop them in there. That would work too. Here's the smaller portal gate. Here's the little kitten, magical kittens. Well, one of them. Oh, the bottom is right here. Okay, it's a little fussy. There we go. These are complete. And I did add a few extra magnets on this part because it wasn't hanging on. It wasn't sticking. But yes. These are done. I think they look pretty good, but I am biased. Let me know what you think, and I might regret this, but what should I make next? I'm cutting in here, and also have a shirt change. There's at least 3 shirt changes in this video because I took a few days to film different parts of this video. But yes, I'm cutting in because I had forgotten that there was a something I wanted to add on these archways. Is this green paint for, you know, for moss, to make it look like it's moss. Moss has been growing on this for a bit. And I also added the hot glue. So I just took it off and added a glob of hot glue on the bottom of both of these. Stuck it on there, and it kind of glooped out. So that was perfect because I was going to cover it up with green paint. So now it has a little bit of a texture. So I thought that worked out just fine. Pretty cool. So yeah, this is the actual finished portal archway, and I did add this piece up here that I was thinking could be a cornerstone, but now I'm thinking, you know, it is still a cornerstone, but you know, maybe it has an emblem or a design that activates the portal. So that's something I can play around on my at the table in one of my games. So that was cool, and I wanted to show that. I did the same for magnet fell. For this smaller one. So this one just has a smaller stone. Same principle. It could be something that activates the gate. So I think that's pretty cool. I was toying with the idea of adding maybe some gems or like a specific emblem on both of these. But I do want to keep it a little bit more open, where I can use this in for any scenario. It could just be a gate a few times, and then, you know, someone realizes like, hey, like, what does this do? Like, why is this here? So yeah. But yeah, that's the idea. Oh, and On the bottom, I added the Turaco in the D20 and the circle. So that's my signature. I added it here too. I want to show that the actual finished portal archways, and let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have any ideas of something else that I can build, I can probably do that on a different video later on. I did explain it in the first video. I'll recap it here. I had seen some portals on Temu and on Amazon, and I think those are like the two main places where I had seen them, and I thought, like, that's cool. I want something like that for my game. That just have a cool looking portal. The one that I saw, and I'll put a picture of both of them, but the first one that I saw was a pretty much a phone case. Like, you could slip your phone in there. Now I'm recording on my phone, and when I'm at the table, that's where I'm keeping track of time, and if I have any messages, and I do turn down the volume, but I will check if there's anything that I need to address right away. So having it as part of the table for gameplay wouldn't really work for me, but I do think that's a pretty cool idea. And another one that I saw was a smaller portal, smaller than this. At least from the pictures that I saw, it looked like it might have been like this big. I wanted something a little bit bigger, and that one had a kind of plastic covering, like here where this hole would be. And I'm assuming there's like LED lights underneath, and they did look like you could cycle through them, so you can have red, blue. I'm sure it has other colors. I don't remember all of them. But both of those portals did look pretty cool. I wanted to make something my own, just make it my own, and just have fun crafting. I thought it would be nice to do a crafting video. I haven't done one in a while, so I really wanted to just make my own, make it me. And yeah, it's something that I can use at the table anytime. I can make it, it's a magic portal, or it's just an archway that people just kind of use it to go through, or just like admire the work, but maybe they don't know that it has a secret, and if you use the right incantation or the right key, it'll activate. Where will it take you? But yes, these are the finished portal archways. So let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you recommend that I build next. I can do that for another video. And I do crave your feedback. I like to know what people think of the videos and the stuff that I do in the videos. So yeah, let me know. And if you come this far and you've seen this video from beginning to end, and you're not subscribed, what's stopping you? Well, before you subscribe, I do want you to look at some of my other videos to see if this is a channel for you. If you like the content enough that you want to subscribe. I don't want to force you. I want you to want to subscribe. So if you do subscribe, that is great. I have had some new subscribers, so that is always great to see. Just someone new coming to the channel, subscribing, and that's pretty cool. I want this channel to grow, and to be something that people come back to. And if you are on this video, well, give the video a like if you like the video. If you don't like the video, let me know what you didn't like. Leave a dislike, comment, let me know what you think. And share out the video if this is a video that you think people would want to see. And those are just the free ways that you can support this channel. I do have links in the description below where you can get PDF miniatures. You can get some comics. I do have some comics on Gumroad, and on Drive-Thru RPG. I do have the these paper miniatures in color, and I have more than just these. I will leave a end card to a video where you can see where I show these off. But if you want to get free versions, there are black and white, and not that many. I have a link tree, /Roll For Turaco, and on the top link there is a free game you can download. I will be making a zine version of that, and that one will be for sale, but you can get a free version now, and it does come with paper miniatures, and there's free. You actually get a little bit more because I added some monsters, and I'm about to add another paper miniature to that file. So if you want to check it out, if you haven't already, it's there for free. Doesn't cost anything except maybe space on your phone or your device. Well, this has been Frank Salazar with Roll For Turaco, and we'll see you next time.
In a world where dice determine your fate, and the only thing holding you back is your imagination, embark on a journey of adventure, perils, mayhem, and treasure. Unlock the hero within. Don't forget to roll for Turaco. Subscribe.